What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Michael. For those of you that are new, we're going to be speaking on the Scorpio. Just a slight description of what the Scorpio pertains to. So we have Scorpio, brave, passionate, and loyal. Scorpio is one of the most determined signs of the zodiac. Scorpios love to get to know you, and they have the most amazing memory of all the signs. They are often met with many difficult life experiences that force them to grow beyond their years. Scorpios connect deeply to the phase of life, death, and rebirth. Represented by the scorpion, they can be fierce. If you cross a Scorpio, be prepared to be stung. Prepare to be stung, right? That's just a slight description of the Scorpios. This specific video is going to be coming from the Dragon Wisdom deck. All right, we're going to be doing a deck of 8. And let's begin. All right, here we go. All right, Scorpios, what do we have for the Scorpios? Spirit, what do we have? First one we have for you guys is rose, right? So this could be pertaining to a love connection, right? Might be bringing them roses or even loving yourself in ways that, kind of represent flowers, right? Flowers grow. So you might be in a blossoming stage, whether it's a relationship blossoming or whether it's you showing love to yourself. Either way, it's going to be a blossoming stage for you guys, allowing these roses, or i.e. or for an example, being your life or being you as a person, allowing them to blossom. So you could be in a blossoming stage, such as a rose, right? What is next for the Scorpios? All right, we have 2 cards here. First one we have is Osane, and the next one we have is Death, right? So for this one, right, you can be reaching your full potential. I feel like you guys are in this glowing stage. I feel like you're in like a glowing stage where you're realizing your characteristics, right? You're realizing where you shine the most at, and as well as things could be dying off that don't serve your best power, which is allowing you to really see where you're like. It's kind of like if you guys had like negative friends or negative associates of any sorts, companions, neighbors, whoever, right? And you got rid of them, which they're died off from your life, not like probably literally, but figuratively, right? Which is causing you to reflect on your highest goods, right? All the characteristics that really pertain to you and things like that. So things are dying off to allow you to seek out your full potential. All right. Okay, what's next for the Scorpios? Obsidian. Cool. What's next for the Scorpio? Okay, we have King Arthur. So for this card, it could be referencing more of a uniqueness, right? You guys are familiar with the King Arthur story. It's a very unique story because it was only a specific someone that could pull the sword from the stand. So this could be allowing you guys to follow your own unique journey, regardless of what is said or how you may feel in the moment. If you really feel genuine, like this is something you want to do, this is where you want to take your life in, as long as it's appropriate. And I always have to say that because I feel like yes, we want to do certain things, but we also have to remember if it's appropriate, as long as it's not inflicting bodily harm, mental harm, or even financial, whatever the case is, as long as you're not affecting anybody else in a negative way, I feel like you guys can go and live throughout your dreams. Now, as you do these things, you're going to encounter a lot of negative events or consults or voices, opinions, and things like that. Fear not, don't worry about that too much, because you have a unique story, you have a unique history behind that is going to be put in history. It might not be in a history book, but in your life, it's your own original self. So it's important not to really compare yourself or contrast yourself to others, but more so walk into your own light, right? So King Arthur came out for you guys, more so representing a unique story that you're going to be having or that you will be displaying. What's next for the Scorpios? What's next for the Scorpios? We have courage, right? So this is a reminder to have courage. Now with courage, you're not always going to be 100%, I want to say comfortable with what you do, but it's important to have courage, because courage is what determines to get the task done. Courage is what makes the result happen when you're scared. So you just got to work through it, right? You might not get the best results that you deemed for, However, at least you attempted the craft, and by you attempting the first time, if you don't get it the right time, or however you deem it, go again, go again, go again. Eventually, you will. By the laws of physics, you will get it done, because you'll know more and more and more every time you try it. So, courage is coming out for you guys to symbolize getting out there, starting a task, even if you're scared at first. Work through it, and that's how you know that you're representing what it means to have courage, right? Next one for the Scorpios, we have Dragon Rider, right? So we have Dragon Rider, kind of like taking control of your life, I would say. Like, whether you're riding a horse, right, metaphorically, or riding a dragon, metaphorically, it's kind of going for the ride, and also being able to be not necessarily 100% in control, but you kind of have some sort of stability, right? And you're kind of working with that as well, right? For a lot of you guys that, let's say you have 24 hours of your day and you're kind of trying to find what to do, right? You're probably going out, you're probably looking for events to kind of like get involved with, or friends or things like that. I would suggest, this is just a suggestion, write down the things that you will actually be willing to do within your day, and then create that schedule, that routine. And I stress that because it's like, if you go out looking for things, negative things may or may not come. So it's important that you guys start to implement things into your life and start to have that stability, that control. And it's not a lecture. This is just how my personal opinion, how I've seen things play out in life. And I just feel like when you guys create that stability, you'll be riding with life. You'll be connecting with yourself, because you'll be doing things that you actually want to do. But you'll also be having control, or having stability. So I feel like with Dragon Rider coming out for you guys, that kind of what it symbolizes to me is to be able to have control. Because, like, for an example, if you're riding a horse, you have to be in tune with the horse and what the horse desires as well. And for a healthy horse, you have to be able to maintain that connection with that horse. Yeah, you can't scare it and things like that. You can't just force yourself on it, because it will just galley your weight. However, having that stability or having that groundwork with the horse allows you guys to be in sync, right? So proper preparation prevents poor performance, and just make sure that you guys are preparing your day-to-day lives so that you can essentially prep for years to come, right? So just Dragon Rider, have control and things like that, right? That's what you're going to be seeking. What's next for the Scorpios? Scorpios. We have Earth Chalice, right? This could be an optimistic mentality. You know how they have that famous saying, always look at the cup half full instead of half empty, right? Because half empty just means that, like, say you have a cup and you say, well, it's half empty, half full. Yeah, I think it's half full, because it's like, if you say half empty, it means that you don't feel like you really done much, right? Try to look at this cup that you have, like your blessing cup, or your foundation, things that you seek in this universe. Try to look at, like, happiness, joy. I'm talking about all, like, the spiritual things. I'm not really speaking on mostly the materials, right? But let's say you acquire happiness, relationships, all of these different things. Try to look at it as you're halfway there, because that is what's going to motivate you, in a sense, to keep going. Like, okay, let's say, for an example, if you look in the monetary aspect, let's say instead of you saying, let's say you need 100K, instead of you saying, I don't have 50K, I'm short 50K, say I'm 50K closer. Try to reword your thoughts a little bit. Try to reword your words, because that's manifestation, but also try to rewire your thought thinking process to look at things in a different way. Like, first glance at this cup, you might say, oh, it's very much empty. I have a long way to go. I haven't received any drops of water. Whatever the case is, whatever you have intentional to go into your cup. But if you want to look at a longevity aspect, it's much better and more fulfilling, and more you have a better approach looking at things from a optimistic aspect, so that you can say, okay, cup's half full, and you'll keep going, and eventually you'll have more patience, and all these characteristics will take place, right? So just keep that in mind. Start looking at the cup half full. But yeah, this is Earth Chalice, so it's like offerings, things like that, that you will be receiving. But you gotta make sure you're following what the universe applies to as well, right? patience is one of them. It's a heavy one because you look at a plant. A plant ain't just gonna grow in 2 seconds. It's gonna take time. Your plant might grow faster or slower than mine, but it will take its time. It will need to take its courses. It will need to go through all the events and stages. You ever see like a tadpole? If you guys ever been in science class, they show you a tadpole, how it goes through all these evolutional stages, and so does every other animal and creature on this planet. So we have to apply that to our own lives as well. We all have an evolution to go through, right? So just go through your phases with patience and things like that. It's a lot more things, but we're just gonna start to look at things with optimistic mindsets of being half full instead of half empty, right? So just keep that in mind. And your final message for Scorpios. What is the message, Spirit? We have divine order. Things are going to happen within divine order, divine connections. You guys all should know that things do happen as when they happen. This is why it's important to focus on your present, because they say a present is the present, if that makes sense. Like right now, you being alive and you being watching this video, whatever the case is, most likely you're probably watching, right now, right? So it's like, enjoy these moments. Enjoy the present moment. That will pull your mentality away from seeking for the future. Because even though you're prepping for the future, by you enjoying the moment, you can look back on them a lot smoother. And you're taking your time with life, which is going to allow you to make much better decisions, which will help your future. Which means it's like this. If you're in a situation to where you got to make an accurate decision, whether school, shop, I was gonna say mechanic shop, school, career, whatever the case is, monetary, spiritual, whatever, health, anything, and you have to make this decision. Every day is a choice you make, right? So if you're making this decision, if you're not thinking currently, but you're just thinking of what could possibly happen in the future, which has not happened yet, you could potentially make a wrong choice, you know what I mean? That can actually affect your present and your future. So it's very important to start to look at what are you doing within your day, right? And enjoy that. Enjoy the moment. Because you have to pull away from the future sometimes. You have to stop worrying about what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. That's my trick to just enjoying the process. And as I'm enjoying the process, time is going by, and eventually the things that I desired fall into place. So you can too, right? You can desire things. You can have things happen when you want them. Understand things are not going to happen when you want them all the time. This doesn't mean that they won't happen sometimes, but just not all the time, right? So just keep that in mind. Having divine order, and a trick to that, to allowing things to take its place and having patience, is, like I said, focus on the present, because your present is your true present, if that makes sense to you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.